Hi everyone, we are Minh Tâm and Tiểu Anh. Today we will talk about the Enlightenment. Our video will contain 4 parts: the scientific revolution, overview of the Enlightenment, news ideas of the Enlightenment, the influence of Enlightenment on American and French Revolution. First, I will give you brief information about the scientific revolution as it had many influences on the Enlightenment. The scientific revolution lasted from the 16th to the 18th century in Europe. The period refers to historical change in thought and belief to change in social and institutional organization. The era was jump-started by Galileo when he disproved Aristotle with his new theory of gravity, and it ended with Isaac Newton, who proposed universal laws and a mechanical universe. The scientific revolution had many new ideas. The first one is matter is composed of small particles. Everything that happens can be explained mechanically or mechanistically with the help of mathematics. Secondly, general principles or natural laws must be supported by observable data. And finally, perhaps most important, that science itself is an exciting activity that will benefit mankind. With the impact of achievements of the scientific revolution, the Enlightenment began. The Age of Enlightenment, as known as the Age of Reason, was an 18th century philosophical movement in Europe of intellectuals who used the ideas of the scientific revolution to re-examine all aspects of life. The movement was most popular in France, where its leaders include philosophers like Voltaire and Denis Diderot. The Enlightenment was especially influenced by the ideas of two 17th century Englishmen, Isaac Newton and John Locke. To Newton, the physical world and everything in it was like a giant machine, the Newtonian world machine. If Newton could discover the natural laws that govern the physical world, so by using his method, the intellectuals of Enlightenment thought they could discover the natural laws that govern human society. Besides, the famous work Essay Concerning Human Understanding of John Locke argues that everyone born with a blank mind, and people were molded by the experiments that came through their sense from the surrounding. If environments were changed, people were exposed to right influence, so a new society created. During the Enlightenment, many ideas that are important today were created. The new attitude making the change in both social and government. These ideas include freedom, democracy, and reason should be the most important things in a society. Reason here means that everybody can think and reason for themselves so that they do not have to believe what justice or pride says. Second, everybody in a society should have the same rights. Every government should have a contract which promises that people will have these rights. Third, people should solve problems with logic and scientific methods instead of looking for answers from religion. 4. Writers and philosophers should be free to look for the truth, even if they disagree with the ideas of people in power, such as aristocracy. And finally, nobody should have to follow a certain religion. There should be freedom of religion, and people should accept others who follow different religions. The Enlightenment's ideas about thinking with reason, having personal freedoms, and not having to follow the Catholic Church were important in creating capitalism and socialism.
The scientific revolution spread along held views about the universe. This encouraged Enlightenment thinkers to question society and government. In the previous part, we told you that the Enlightenment started because of the scientific revolution. People tried to think more about the world so that new ideas were invented, and not only the ideas of science but also the ideas of human rights and the freedom in people's life. They started to wonder whether the government treated them well, and accidentally that at that time the French government were corrupt and the Americans were English colonized, so people made revolution. Well, I want to introduce you this person first. John Locke was an English philosopher and physician, widely regarded as one of the most influential of Enlightenment thinkers and commonly known as the father of liberalism. His contributions to classical republicanism and liberal theories are such an inspiration of both the European Enlightenment and the Constitution of the United States. His political thoughts were grounded in the notion of the social contract between citizens and in the importance of toleration. So, what are American Revolution and French Revolution? Well, the American Revolution was a political revolution that separated England's North American colonies from Great Britain and led to the formation of the United States of America. The revolution was achieved in large part by the American Revolutionary War between 1775 and 1783, which was fought between England against American and its allies, including French, Spain, and the Dutch Republic. The American Revolution embodies and reflected the principles of the Enlightenment, which emphasized personal liberty and freedom from tyranny, amongst other ideas. The French Revolution was a period of far-reaching social and political upheaval in France and lasted from 1789 until 1799, and was partially carried forward by Napoleon during the later expansion of the French Empire. The revolution overthrew the monarchy, established a republic, experienced violent periods of political turmoil, and finally culminated in a dictatorship under Napoleon that rapidly brought many of its principles to Western Europe and beyond. Inspired by liberal and radical ideas, the revolution profoundly altered the course of modern history, triggering the global decline of absolute monarchies while the ideas of Enlightenment thinkers have a significant influence on the philosophical basis of both the American and French Revolution. There are four main Enlightenment ideas that John Locke has written in his research, including natural rights, social contract, revolution, and reason. In results, both these two revolutions have succeeded. Through the Declaration of Independence in the United States, the influence of the Enlightenment ideas is made clear. Take this famous quote for example. We hold this truth to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by the Creator with certain unalienable rights, and among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. The U.S. Declaration of Independence then influenced the Vietnamese Declaration of Independence, spoken by President Ho Chi Minh on the 2nd September 1945. Tất cả mọi người sinh ra đều có quyền bình đẳng, tạo hóa cho họ những quyền không ai có thể xâm phạm được. Trong những quyền ấy có quyền được sống, quyền tự do và quyền mưu cầu hạnh phúc. And the U.S. Declaration of Independence also influenced the French Declaration of the Rights of Man and Citizens on 17 89. It is said that men are born and remains free and equal in rights. Well, there are 7 main points including liberty, property, security, resistance to oppressions, equal justice, freedom to speech, and freedom to religion. In conclusion, in our video we'll talk about 4 main points. There's the scientific revolution, an overview of the Enlightenment and its idea, and how the Enlightenment influenced the French and American Revolution. If you have any questions, feel free to ask, and you just need to give us a comment below.